Dr. Jill Stein of the Green Party, you have 2 minutes.
Well, we basically just heard Mitt Romney say, trust me, you know, I'm a CEO that likes to invest my money offshore, that likes to fire people, and that supports free trade agreements and Bain Capital type investments that move our jobs overseas. So this doesn't sound exactly reassuring for providing work equity for women. And Barack Obama points to many programs that he says have made the difference, but clearly they haven't made the difference. Women are still being paid far less. Women-headed households have a 40% poverty rate relative to the 15% poverty rate among the general population. So we have a critical problem. That's why our Green New Deal ensures that everyone will have a job and a job paying living wages. The Green New Deal will put 23 million people back to work, will end unemployment, will provide jumpstart grants, zero-interest loans to small businesses and worker cooperatives, and will provide the public works and public services that enable you to go down to an employment office rather than an unemployment office and actually get a job. We are also advocating for free public higher education. As I mentioned before, the president points to support for Pell Grants coming from banks as middlemen who were getting $60 billion. Well, now banks are getting $40 billion every month as a part of the latest quantitative easing. Again, we need to quantitatively ease student debt, not bank debt, again, for the third time, their fourth consecutive bailout. And likewise on health care, it is every woman and every man's right to have complete health care through a Medicare for All plan, which is the only way that we can actually get to complete coverage. It provides comprehensive care so that it's not up to your boss, as the president basically validated by agreeing to relieve businesses where employers objected on religious grounds to the coverage of birth control. In fact, birth control should not be up to your employer, nor should vaccinations or blood transfusions or any other aspect of health care that might be objected to on religious grounds. Health care is a human right. We should be providing it now for everyone. It will also save us trillions of dollars over the coming decade.
Justice Party presidential candidate Rocky Anderson.
Inequity in the workplace is just part of a larger picture of inequity systemically in this country that impacts women in so many ways. Lilly Ledbetter was a great beginning, but you don't just leave everybody to their own devices, say, okay, you've got the tools now to go out and sue if you're not being paid equally for equal work. We need good enforcement by those in government charged with enforcement. And with these two corporate candidates, we'll never be able to trust in that any more than we've seen good enforcement against those who committed massive fraud on Wall Street. The Obama administration hasn't prosecuted one person on Wall Street for that financial fraud. So we've seen in the last 25 years a doubling of maternal mortality in this country. We see African-American women dying as a result of pregnancy or childbirth at a rate of more than 3 times as many as white women. The impacts on women in the workplace are still so evident, and yet we don't see the kind of enforcement that we need from those charged with enforcement in government. So we need that kind of leadership. We need the kinds of examples. When I was practicing law, I know how difficult it is for private plaintiffs to bring these cases. You need the help of government. I also served 2 different terms on the board of Planned Parenthood in Utah, and I know that the huge difference that good family planning, education, and services makes for everybody, men and women together. And contraceptive services need to be comprehensively provided and without charge. It pays off great dividends over the long haul.
Virgil Goode of the Constitution Party.
Thank you. I'm opposed to discrimination in wages and in the employment place. There should be equal pay for equal work. regardless of sex, regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of national origin. I would point out, of all the candidates running for president, I am the only one that has consistently opposed free trade agreements in opposition to some in the Democratic leadership and many in the Republican leadership, because I recognize most of these agreements were shifting jobs to foreign countries. The jobs should be in the United States first, not transferred to foreign countries where the really big money backers of the super PACs that are supporting Obama and Romney benefit from having so much manufacturing overseas. I am the only candidate that stands up for the Catherine Fentons, who are U.S. citizens wanting jobs in this country. The big money people that are behind Obama and Romney want to bring in more foreign workers, give them more green cards, because it drives down wages. I'm for standing up for the U.S. citizen for jobs in this country first, and I'll help Catherine Fenton more than any other candidate, because I recognize that problem and am willing to say it and talk about it and do something about it.